Hi there, I'm Dr. Sarah Wooten, and I am here for the Make a Dog's Day, and we are going to be talking about how to potty train your puppy. So one of the most common questions I hear from new puppy owners is, when should I start potty training my puppy? Well, the thing is you can start potty training your puppy as soon as you get your puppy. The only thing is you just need to be patient because younger puppies cannot hold their bladders for very long. And just like human babies, they will need to go out at nighttime in order to relieve themselves. So if you have a 6 to 8 week old puppy, hopefully your puppy is closer to 8 weeks than 6 weeks, then you can start potty training that puppy right away. Just don't expect them to be done until they're in between 12 to 14 weeks of age. So you got a good solid month of getting up with that puppy and being extra patient and extra vigilant and making sure that you are being intentional and interactive with all the potty training. New puppies, young puppies, 6 to 8 weeks of age, need to go out about every 3 hours or more, depending on the size of your dog. Some of the bigger dogs can wait a little bit longer. Some of those little tiny teacups, man, you're out there all the time with those guys. And so taking them out frequently is going to be an important part of the training. And then another important part of the training is making sure that you are watching your puppy at all times when they are inside the house. Because the minute you stop watching them is the minute when they are going to squat underneath your dining room table and take a leak or leave a little surprise for you to discover later. So you cannot leave these little guys unsupervised. The reason being is they just don't understand that the inside of their house is their den. Puppies will typically not urinate or defecate inside their dens. And the challenge for the new puppy owner is to teach their puppy what is the den. Where does the den end? And for a little tiny puppy, the house is huge. Like, put yourself down on that puppy's level and take a look up and see how big everything is. And so when you're with that puppy, you have to watch that puppy at all times. And as soon as they start walking around and sniffing or circling or even get a little bit further and they squat, you need to take that puppy outside right away and put them in the place where you want them to go. That is the important thing, making sure to watch them at all times and making sure to take them out every 2 to 4 hours, at least to start. The next thing is, when you're not with them inside, keep them in a crate. And if you're not able to supervise them, keep them in a crate. Yes, they may whine a little bit, but if you make the crate a really wonderful place for them to go, maybe put some treats in there, some chew toys, have them sit right next to you, have the crate right next to you so that they don't feel alone, then they will tend to develop more of an affinity for their crate. They will tolerate it better, and you can be able to keep, maybe cook dinner and not have to be watching the puppy to make sure it's not urinating underneath the dining room table. So the next thing is to make sure that your dog understands how awesome it is for him or her to go pee or poo outside. When you take your dog out, you need to supervise them when they're going as well. And as soon as they start to squat, you want to make a big party. You want to make this the most awesome experience that your dog has ever had. So you want to make sure to have some sort of treat that you reserve only for potty training, and it needs to be tiny, it needs to be gulpable, and it needs to be a handful at least to start. You want your puppy to think that they have won the lottery when they squat outside. So with Alma, when I was training her, I would follow her around and I'd have, some little bits of cheese in my hand where she couldn't smell it, couldn't see it. As soon as her little bum started to go towards the ground, I would stick that pile of cheese, teeny tiny little bits, about 10 of them, right in front of her nose, and I would use my cue word, which was go potty, and let her eat the treats. And I did that every day for a month, right? After a week, she started looking for the treats, and she knew that when she would go outside, she was going to get a party. The other thing is, when she would go potty, I'd say, yay! go potty, make a party. My voice is really high and it's really wonderful. And the dog would grow, Alma would grow to associate that high voice with positive praise and treats. If I did catch her squatting inside the house, I didn't rub her face in it. I didn't scold her. I didn't hit her. I didn't do any of those things, because if you do hit your dog, you will be creating conflict within that relationship, and that could lead to problems down the line. So no hitting, no rubbing, no creating conflict in the bond between you and your dog. What I would say is I would say no in a low voice. I would use low voice. No. Pick her up, take her outside, let her finish her business. Yay! Good dog, you did it. Here is your treats. If you have a setback in your training, then you need to do a couple of things. Maybe you need a more exciting treat. Maybe you need something other than treats. Some dogs are not food motivated, so maybe they need some playtime or time with the toy after they go potty. Another common pitfall is that people are waiting too long before they take their dog out. And so that can cause problems because the dog can't hold their urinary bladder or their food. Another common pitfall is that people don't take their pets out right after they eat. Always, always, always take your puppy out after they eat, because that is a common time. That's when the bowels are being stimulated, and that's a likely time when your puppy is going to want to go poo. So take them out after they eat. Another common pitfall is, again, leaving them unsupervised. You just really can't do it until they are solidly potty trained. And I do recommend that takes, for the average dog, anywhere between 12 and 14 weeks of age is usually when they potty train. Some of the teeny tiny guys, they can take a little bit longer because they just don't get it, right? If the puppy has a urinary tract infection, that could be a cause. So if you're struggling with your potty training and you're doing everything you should be doing and your dog's still having accidents inside the house, talk to your local veterinarian. See if there's a problem with a urinary tract infection or something like that. I hope this was helpful, and I really appreciate you watching. Good luck potty training your puppy, and I'll be back soon with more videos.